According to a new report from the New York Times, China has been creating fake pro-Trump social media accounts to not only praise Donald Trump ahead of the 2024 election, but also to attack President Biden. Now, here's the thing. When I say China, I'm not necessarily referring to the Chinese government, because based on what I've seen, they cannot link this directly to the Chinese government. But what we do know, according to investigators and, of course, according to the federal government, so take that with a grain of salt, is that we do have accounts originating from China popping up on social media, usually places like TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. And they are all MAGA 2024, usually have that either in their username or in their actual handle. They all have it in their bios, and these accounts are originating from China, so they're not actual Trump supporters. But these accounts are gaining a lot of traction. One account, according to this report, accused President Biden of not only being a Satanist, but also of being a pedophile. And this account was retweeted tens of thousands of times. Another account said that the Biden administration had sent a neo-Nazi. The CIA sent a neo-Nazi, just one, I guess, over to Ukraine to fight. And that account, that specific post, was actually shared by Alex Jones to millions of people. So these are not harmless little bots being created in China. These are pro-Trump accounts making up fake claims, obviously not having any evidence to back any of it up, but that never stopped MAGA freaks here in the United States either. And they're getting retweeted by some of the biggest accounts on social media. Now, this is, of course, reminiscent of what happened in 2016. Because in 2016, we had all of these little bot farms overseas, a lot of them originating from Russia. Yes, that did happen, where you had Russian companies basically creating these fake pro-Trump accounts, going out there on Facebook primarily is where they were using it in 2016, putting out all these ridiculous articles about Hillary Clinton, making the same kind of claims about her. She worships Satan. She's involved in the pedophile ring. All these crazy things. The problem is social media companies, especially now that Elon Musk owns Twitter, have pretty much made it clear that they're not going to do anything about this. Facebook actually closed down their division that monitors political misinformation this year, like a massive election year. And Meta, the parent company of Facebook's like, nah, we don't need to look at that stuff. What's the worst that could happen, right? Well, we're already seeing it. And if these accounts are originating from China, I have no doubt we're going to see them coming from Russia. They've done it before. They'll do it again. We have seen them come from the Middle East. We have seen them come from other parts of Europe. And the way this works is that you will have an individual, sometimes an individual from the United States that goes over to one of these countries, and they create what are called bot farms. You basically have a team of people. They create multiple different accounts, and sometimes they even create fake news websites, which we saw tons of in 2016. And they just churn out the absolute worst, most ridiculous conspiracy theories about Democrats you've ever seen. And then the fake accounts will tweet out these stories, right? They're coming from websites that look like legitimate websites. That's why you saw all your right-wing relatives posting on Facebook back in 2016. It's like, oh, the dailyeagle.news told me this. Oh, patriotinfo.net says this, right? Like websites that aren't even real. Nobody's ever heard of them. And it's because they were coming from these troll farms. And it's going to happen this year. And based on what we're seeing, it's probably going to be so much worse than it was in 2016. Social media companies knew back then that it was happening. They got in trouble for letting it happen. And they've already let us know this year they're not going to do a thing to stop it.